First of all, my family. I have family in law enforcement, so they pushed me. I've always wanted to be a police officer, even as a young child. I'd see a police car rolling down the street, and always thought one day that's going to be me. Here I am, 25 years later, going to graduate from the police academy. We need officers in California right now. A lot of departments everywhere, all over the state, need officers.
I had to open myself up to other options for employment, and this was something that I had entertained before, and I decided that it wasn't too late. It was time to pursue it if it was a career goal that I had. So
it's something I've done for a while. I was police in the military as well. It's just a field of work that I like.
Something I've always wanted to do. Always wanted to be out there helping people and doing the right thing. And I think during this time we need more officers than we've ever needed before. And I just can't wait to get out there.
Hello, this is Debra Hemmer for DCTV News. We recently talked to 4 young Police Academy graduating students. Now today we're here at San Joaquin Dela College's Lauren Phelps Police Services building to talk to Officer Jim Bock. Anyone else who wishes to discuss the current situation in Stockton, California about crime issues. We're continuing on our series, Stockton, a city in crisis, crime, and the law enforcement officers who are fighting it. So today we'll be talking to Officer Jim Bock here at the Lauren Phelps Police Services building, and we hope you'll join us for all the information he has to give us. Thank you. Hello, I'm here with Officer Jim Bock, who's had a very, very interesting career as a police officer here at San Joaquin Dela College. I want to talk to him today about why he has stayed with the police department so long and why he became an officer in the first place. We talked to the recent police graduates, and they gave really interesting answers about wanting to help at this very challenging time here in Stockton, California. But Officer Bock, we want to talk to you today and give you a very warm welcome. Thank you for participating in this special program.
My pleasure.
And we want to know more about you and whatever you want to talk about as far as why you chose this profession way back. I read that you began in 1998 officially when you graduated from San Joaquin Dela College's Police Academy, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you won the True Grit Award. I heard about that one during the rehearsal for the recent graduates.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting surprise for me during graduation because while I was going through the academy, I was also carrying 2 full-time jobs. And during the academy, my home got broken into, and a lot of stuff was stolen, and I still showed up to the academy.
And your home got broken into. Did it make you more motivated to go into the police department after that?
It certainly did.
And this is back in 1998 when police officers, it wasn't that bad, supposedly, in Stockton at that time. But became worse the past, 4 or 5 years?
We've definitely seen an increase in activity over the past 4 to 5 years, and I think a lot of it has to do with the economy.
So what in the first place made you want to become one back then?
It actually goes back to my childhood. I was born with severe deformities in my legs. And growing up, constantly picked on, and I've always had kind of a soft spot for the little guy.
So the bullying is a big topic today.
Yes, yes, it is.
So that's what motivated you. And you wanted to go out there and defend the little guys, people being hurt and bullied and harassed, and that was your motivation. And crime, too, I imagine, though it wasn't as big in Stockton back then, was an issue as well.
Correct, and I was also lucky. I grew up out in Lockford. So, crime is pretty much non-existent out there, or it was. But as I went through the academy and I learned more about the role of policing, I was enthralled with it. Well, I want to kind of clarify something. In the past, the administration for the department has felt that sending out a lot of this information that we send out now through Facebook and the different social media could have been more of a detriment and created panic. With our new administration, though, they say it's very important for us to send that information out so people can be informed so that they know not to, so that they know that they have to be aware of their surroundings when they go out. So there is a slight uptick in crime. However, it is not as great as it appears on the outside. When you look at the past 7 years, for instance, you'll see it's fairly constant.
Right, but just want to know about the mood now. The officers, we know going in, they're all excited, and you were too starting out. But just after a while of years of that in a normal environment, a normal town, or a normal city without Stockton's challenges, it becomes stressful after a while. I mean, it's bound to be. That's true. Doctors, nurses, any profession, teachers certainly. I mean, it's nothing against that, the job itself, but it has to be tremendous stress, and the hours are so long. And under normal conditions, without the crisis going on in Stockton right now, it's a tough job, and you see so much. We want to know just what makes people stay. Why do officers stay, or why do you stay with the job now?
To this day, I'm still excited to come to work. And with everything that is going on, it gives me that much more opportunity to achieve the dream that I had years ago, and that was to help people. When I come into work, when I first started, I was one of the young gunners. If I could chase somebody, I was more than happy to. But as I've gotten older and I've matured, I look at it where I can use my head a lot better than I can my feet. And yeah, we get to chase people on occasion, but I enjoy the mental aspect of the job and the paperwork involved and the investigations. And to me, it's really exciting to write a really good report and do an investigation.
So you just simply enjoy your work.
Yes.
And that's true of many people. I know it doesn't. You don't suffer from that burnout that many people do, but some people do get a bit stressed out. I know there are chaplains, for instance, down at the Stockton Police Department who deal with this. I do know a couple of chaplains, and they have to talk to officers sometimes who witness very terrible crimes. It does get to them sometimes, it stresses. Have you know anybody like that? I know about here at the San Joaquin College District, but does that happen sometimes here too?
We haven't really had to call on a chaplain, but there have been instances where we have filled with Stockton Police Department on a call, and we got there just as a man took his own life. Mm-hmm. And there are those calls that when you go home at night, it leaves a question in your mind, what would have happened if it didn't go this direction? And sometimes there are nights when you go to sleep and you can't sleep because of that. And it's just something that you can talk over with your peers. And, if you have a loved one at home, you can talk it over gently with them as well.
And do you think police officers are more courageous individuals as a rule? Is there kind of a risk-taking psychological factor to someone becoming a police officer, you think, more so than the average person? Maybe a risk-taker, sense of adventure, excitement, and more than the average person. Is that part of their personality?
That's a tough one because as a kid, I was never a risk-taker. And even now, I'm not a risk taker. However, there are those elements of the job. There is the adrenaline rush on occasion, and afterwards, it's kind of nice to feel that adrenaline rush. But for the most part, I think it's just truly people that they have the ability, they know they have the ability to help others, so they pursue it.
And that's what they were telling me at the police academy. They want to help other people, and that really impressed me, the idea of helping other people. That seemed to be their motivating goal, too, to become police officers. Not because they wanted to go out there. They knew that it's dangerous, and they have courage, obviously, but it was to help other people, and that was really, really something that stayed with me. I want to ask someone who's been in it for a long time, what your thoughts are about these young men. Because when you first begin in something like that, it is exciting. Although it's a challenging time, they're all excited. When you've been at the job for a while, on the job for a while, sometimes that burnout can occur and it's a different perspective. So again, you just believe that you are still excited about the job.
Yes.
But some officers, you would think, do suffer a little bit from stress and burnout at times throughout the community, not just here at Delta.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
And that's when you have to count on your interior support. Within the department, here especially, we have great admin, and we can go in. We have an open door policy with our chief, and we can go in and discuss things with him. He's been with Lodi PD. He's been, I believe, with Rio Vista as well, and he went all the way up through chief at Lodi. And his experiences help us. If we do have one of those stressful days, we can go in and talk to him, and you walk out of the office feeling golden.
And just to go back to your career early days, how did you manage to win the True Grit Award? That's quite a thing. I heard about that on stage recently, at rehearsal, and only the best, the person who hangs in there the longest, the toughest person gets that award. It's based on an old movie, of course, with John Wayne, but you had to be quite a person, quite an individual to get the True Grit Award. Every student doesn't get that. How did you get that?
You know, I think it was my work ethic.
What is your official title here?
Yeah, the Peace Officers Association here
There
at
you
Delta.
go.
I'm the president of that.
I have it written down. And what are your roles as that president?
Essentially, I'm the chief negotiator for our members. If there are any grievances, I work with our members and the district to try and resolve those grievances as quickly as possible.
And you are also the media person here, right? You're the PIO.
Yes.
That's why you're allowed to talk to us today more than probably other officers can, but they usually have to get clearance. Am I correct?
That's correct.
All right. So we're grateful for your interview today, but how did you get that title?
I don't know.
You don't know. Did you major in something special, media or anything like that?
No. I think that the chief just saw something in me, and I had a willingness to do it, and he asked, I said yes.
I've also read that you keep up to date with all the training programs, the latest tactical methods used.
Yes, I'm a certified taser instructor, less lethal weapons, firearms instructor, and also chemical agents instructor. I've also gone through several of the cell phone forensic and computer forensic courses that the DOJ offers.
So who do you instruct on this? You go to the Stockton PD for this, or here at Delta?
Typically, I will do it in-house to make sure that our officers are up to par. Several years ago, I did all the active shooter instructing here, and as a result of that, I was invited up by Sutter Creek PD, and I put on active shooter training over a course of 2 days for Jackson, Amador County, and Sutter Creek.
Well, that's interesting to know. So you've had quite a career since 1998, but before that, too, and all here at Delta College. Was there a reason why you chose to stay at Delta?
Quite honestly, I didn't want to.
Oh, you didn't?
No. My dream department, for whatever reason that I can't explain, was Santa Rosa.
Oh.
But 2 days before I was contacted by Santa Rosa, Delta College sent me my conditional offer, and I accepted it. My main goal was to help people. And it's funny because when you go into oral interviews, typically you'll get somebody that says, you're not going to be able to change it. You know, that's kind of the overall feeling when you go in and you say, I'm here to help. Right. I want to help people. And what I found after about a year I was probably 14 months in, I had a stalking case. And I was able to investigate that case from start to finish and watch the guy go to prison. And I handled that case from when the girl walked in to when he was escorted off to prison. And I realized at that time, through evidence that was found in the state psychologists and psychiatrists that interviewed the suspect, they believed that he was coming back onto campus to kill her.